Hey guys, we're Flipturn, and we're going to give you some tips for touring. My first tip is if you're choosing between staying at an Airbnb or a hotel, hotels we have found are the way to go, strictly because showers are better usually, the beds are so much comfier. Also, most hotels have like gyms, and like trying to exercise when you're on the road is huge. We've been touring for a few years, but this is the first tour where I haven't felt like complete crap, because we've been able to stay in places that have gyms, and even if it's just like a treadmill or something like that, trying to stay active.
They have laundry.
Also, yeah,
as well.
Laundry's a big one for hotels.
Airbnb is fuming right now.
I know, I'm so sorry. Airbnbs are great, don't get me wrong, but when you're going from city to city, I'd say I would recommend staying in a hotel.
So my tour tip is to always use the bathroom when you have the chance to. You never know, especially when you're driving through Texas or in the middle of Kansas or somewhere. Sometimes those stops are like 50 miles apart, and you never know when you have to use the restroom. You don't want to have to pull over. We've had to do that a couple times. I haven't, because I can't, but they have.
I've peed in the middle of a desert, literally in the middle of a desert.
So I'll use the restroom, and also get, along that same lines, get gas when you can, because the same reasoning, you never know.
When we were in
really
Portland,
close.
every single gas station around the venue was closed for some reason,
Yeah,
and
we
we had
had-
about 20 miles left. It was terrifying to me, so just make sure to get gas whenever you can.
Yeah.
My tour tip, I guess is kind of biased, but I would say bring a blanket and a pillow for the van, because you can at least put it up against the window of the van and it won't crook your neck as much. You're not going to have to use your hand. And a blanket, you can use it to kind of cover yourself if you're really cold, but it's really good for your feet at the bottom of the van. It's honestly more important for that, especially if you don't want your shoes on while you're driving 8 hours and you don't want to be cold. So I would say bring those two things.
I guess to kind of piggyback off of that, I love my neck pillow.
Oh, yeah,
Every
that's-
time you're in the car, I'm like, where's my neck pillow? It's just, I have it on all the time, and it's so comfortable, and it helps with the neck problems, for sure.
The neck problems are real. They're real. So
Kind of going back to the whole laundry thing, definitely get a hamper or a bag to keep all your dirty laundry in. Otherwise, you're gonna have nowhere to throw it, or it's gonna get mixed in with your suitcase and everything.
Yeah.
That's a little thing. It seems like a no-brainer, but
laundry.
yeah.
Definitely find somewhere to do laundry.
yeah.
every time you get a chance to do laundry, do laundry.
Yes.
It doesn't even matter if
Yes.
it's 2 outfits. Put them in the wash. It could be 3 weeks.
Right,
until
because
the
not
next washing
everywhere,
machine.
not everywhere has laundry.
If
Yeah.
you're doing high energy shows where you're getting sweaty and smelly, you're definitely gonna want a separate place to store all your sweaty, dirty
Yeah.
clothes.
Yeah.
Stemming off of that, drummers will usually get really sweaty, so make sure to hydrate a ton. Was that gonna be your point?
Yeah, actually, sorry. My tip was make sure you're drinking a lot of water, and also I guess going back to Madeline's using the bathroom when you can and stuff. Drinking too much water on the road and having to stop and stuff. So maybe on the way to a gas station or a rest stop, drink a lot of water.
If you're close.
Yeah, if you're close, you're close to be
Chug the water,
you know,
chug the water.
and I guess with that too, buying bigger water bottles or using reusable water bottles is good to kind of cut down on plastic usage. I'll buy smart water bottles and refill those because they're BPA free.
I've been drinking this plastic water bottle. You just said that.
Right to the ocean.
This was weird.
But yeah, that, and I know hikers will use smart water bottles just because they're BPA free and they don't have all those microplastics. And I know everyone gets microplastics in their system now. It's the whole thing, but
Credit cards worth every week.
yeah,
Apparently.
yum.
Yeah. For drummers specifically, load up on drumsticks. I went through maybe 4 pairs last night. It's so inconsistent, so just make sure you always have backups. Otherwise, you're gonna get in a place where you're playing a show and you literally have no more sticks left. So that's not a fun spot to be in. So definitely do that. Backups are really important for gear. If you have one piece of gear, you have 0. If you have 2, you have 1. You know, you always need a secondary option to fall on. So that's super important.
Right. One more tip that I'm gonna add. If you're playing bars every night, it's tempting to want to get it like a drink or a beer or something like that. You don't always have to.
You always have to.
No, I would say,
Always.
especially, I mean, I'll say for singers, try to avoid that. It takes a toll. You know, it's fun, obviously, once in a while if it helps you loosen up, but if they start to add up and it starts to be like a 4-week to 5-week bender. So definitely don't feel like, you know, the drink tickets are very, you know, they want to convince you sometimes, but I'd say just try to take it easy sometimes, for sure. It's a marathon, not a sprint.